Hello, people of YouTube. My name is Steve Gray. Thank you for watching. And today we are talking about My Hero Academia Season 7, Episode 7. And kind of a disappointing episode, I'll be honest with you. Not really a lot going on here. So we start off with kind of a general recap of the plan. Separate everybody, get them far away from each other, hopefully all for one. And Shigaraki will not be able to communicate, at the very least. At least that was the initial plan. And that's what we got. So, big old recap here. Talking about scattering them to different locations as well. Whole thing there, kind of describing each individual villain, what each group is going to do. And that is taken up like the first 5 minutes, roughly. Along with the intro here. So we are about 6 minutes deep, and then we still get a recap. Mirko here getting hit by the giant crazy finger doohickeys. And nobody knows really what it is. And he basically explains that it's not really a quirk, it's kind of a genetic mutation that gives you the ability to accept multiple quirks. It's similar to how hair grows or nails grow. So this is his flesh. So this is actual Shigaraki's fingers' flesh attached to him. So my thought is, why don't they just start slicing away? Because he's going to feel that pain. If this is actually his flesh, why would he not feel that pain? I know he's kind of describing it like fingernails or hair, where you don't really feel your fingernails or hair, but these are actual fingers. I'm assuming this is part of his body, so I'm assuming it hurts and he can feel things as well. He's like, basically saying they've all turned a blind eye. Lucky for Mirko here, she has parts to spare, because her prosthetic leg and arm both got busted up pretty bad. Her and Bakugo, I guess, are both kind of hotheads. And then Bakugo's like, call me Great Exploding Murder God Dynamite. And she's just calling him Dynamite. Like, my God, who's going to pronounce your entire name, Bakugo? That's an entire freaking mouthful. And, they're in the middle of this huge battle. And Best Genius is like, hey, cut it out. We're not fighting each other. We got to deal with Shigaraki here. At least that's where they're at. So they ended up getting a message from Midoriya that, he got trapped on the island with Toga, but there's really nothing they can do about it, because if they stop looking at Shigaraki for just a minute, every single one of these fingers would have access to decay. They'd all die in about 2 seconds, and it would take about 10 seconds for Moinama, Copy, Phantom Thief. We'll call him Phantom Thief so I don't keep mispronouncing his name. It would take him about 10 seconds to switch between quirks to teleport Deku there. And in that 10 seconds, God knows what would happen to all of these heroes. They might all be dead. And it might only take, 10 seconds. You think it's not a lot of time, but it can definitely be a lot of time in terms of this. So you got the whole gang there. We got Nejiri, we have Sun Eater, we have Bakugo, Best Genius, I believe Edgeshot, and then Mirko is who we got here. So we then kind of go over to the island here, where we see this high-end, or almost high-end, Nomu, kind of breaking its body into pieces, into giant sharp spears, just beating the crap out of everybody. Their team is very strong. Here we have Toga finally confessing her love to Deku, which we've known all along from like season 1. And she's like, I want you, affection, to be my boyfriend. And Deku's like, what the heck are you talking about? So the reason we also found out that the reason Danger Sense does not work when she is attacking him is because she is attacking him out of pure affection. So there's not malice or hatred when she's going after Deku. She wants his blood to transform into him, to be him, to feel what he feels, At least that is Toga's mindset. She wants his blood to transform into Deku to understand. Deku gets very flustered. After all that's said and done, he was just a damned nerd. I love that. It's basically like Bakugo's saying that, even though that's the narrator. But I got the big old affection smile there going on. And yeah, he had no idea because, he wasn't really paying attention the entire time. She mentioned this to Urako, but never mentioned it to Deku, so he is just very confused. So this would end up being some sort of long, winded conversation going on there. Lucky for us, Asui shows up here and kicks Toga somewhere. Let's go ahead and just fast forward to that point. We also have Araka thinking about, talking to Toga, and then she basically saying, "I haven't thought about you one bit, not anymore anyway." She's like, "I held out for Izuku, but obviously he is not in the same mindset that I am, in terms of my affection and my love. So I just don't care anymore." So she's just like, "Yeah, I'm gonna kill everybody." Like, okay, I get it. Everybody rejects me. I'm gonna stay in my friend group. There we go. There's Asui. Smacking the crap out of Toga with her feet there. Uraka got stabbed in the shoulder. She said it doesn't look that bad, but they need to retrieve the knife because it has her blood on it. I don't know how bad that cut or deep that cut is. It looks small, but you never know. A small could be deeper than you think. But basically they say, just get out of here. Go, get out of here, do what you got to do. And he's like, I got to go faster. And then one of the past users of One for All is basically like, are you going to risk injury before the even battle? He was like, you're going to end up breaking all of your support items and end up hurting yourself before you even get there. So he was like, yep, okay, I'll just go. We still don't know this one user's quirk that we got mentioned here. I don't know what number he was. I think he's either 3 or 4. Basically, he said his quirk got mutated into something that is kind of a last resort type deal, and it's like shown locked behind a door. We have all of these kind of extender rocket arms that Toga now has. They're all essentially knives that can hook into these tanks to give her blood of people, which is kind of interesting. She's like, I love all of you, but essentially, I have no need for heroes. Go away, goodbye. She wants to live her life as she sees fit, and so does Uraka and everybody else. We then kind of go on to Dabi. There's Nomu with Dabi as well. Everything's in flames, but really nothing is going on here. There's just kind of some talking, interaction, basically saying, he wanted to go to hell with his father, but Dabi saying this, but his father sent him here instead. Shoto has turned into the perfect puppet as well because he wants to be there. Basically they're saying that he's a stinky man that is a terrible father, but he's also done a lot of good. So the reason they've stayed with him, his sidekicks have stayed with him for this long, is because while he may not be the best person in the world, he has done a lot of good for society, even though he's a terrible father. So basically, he's like, I wasn't here because I was given an order. I'm here because I want to be and defeat you. And he's like, that means you become the pawn that Dad always wanted you to be. Basically living up to Dad's expectations. At the end of the day, wars between humans. Nobody was given orders, so everybody's kind of doing their own thing. He was like, why didn't you come back? That's what Shoto wants to know, is why didn't Dabi come back? And Dabi's burning even hotter now. You can see his lips are starting to decay even further. It looks like his cheek is completely gone in this image. And I'm guessing we are going to get the backstory next episode. So let's go ahead and just kind of skip through here all of the outro. Preview the next episode here. We got Dabi burning up. So talking about how All Might and All for One waged a battle long ago. There'll be flames that burn everything. There'll be flames to recover all that was lost. 2 flash fires. So basically this is going to describe what the heck happened to Toya or Dabi after the fact. I'm assuming there's going to be a lot of cutscenes. That's just how I think this season's going to play out. They're either going to cut back and forth between battles, or they're going to do like one episode per battle. We'll see how that whole situation panders out. But it was an okay episode, but really not a lot going on. So out of 10, I'm going to give this a 6. I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10, being that there really wasn't a lot going on. There really wasn't a lot of action. There wasn't kind of like big fights. It was kind of like a little bit of talking before the fights to come. It was interesting to see Toga confess her love to Izuku there for a couple of seconds, and then he's just like, okay. He was like, we should just like go get ice cream or something. Like that's how what couples do. They go get ice cream, they hang out, they do fun stuff. They don't stab each other and take each other's blood. And that this is basically her realizing that Deku is the same as everybody else around her. That her version of normal is not their version of normal, and that's essentially all she wrote there. And then that's basically it. There's not a whole lot going on, as I said, in this episode. I think we'll get some actual fighting. Possibly next episode, we'll definitely get some more of Dabi's backstory. What happened after they thought he died and burned to a crisp. So that'll definitely be interesting to see how that whole situation pans out as well. Other than that, thank you for watching. Hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, like, share, comment, all that fun stuff. And as always, have a good one. Stay tuned tomorrow for the Demon Slayer review.